Let's be honest. Society tells men that after 40, you're past your prime, that you should just settle into the dad bod, stop caring about your look, and fade into the background. But they're lying to you. What they never tell you is that an older man has something a 20-year-old will never have. Weight. Not physical weight, but the weight of experience, resources, discipline, and character that only time can build. That weight creates presence. It creates gravity. However, most men leave that potential on the table. They age passively instead of deliberately. Today, I'm giving you the 3 force multipliers that transform an older man from invisible to the most magnetic person in the room. And if you do the third one correctly, you won't just look better. You'll feel 20 years younger in your body and mind. Let's dive in. Point number 1 is the architecture of style. The first thing that kills the attractiveness of an older man is hiding. Most men start wearing baggy clothes to cover up a changing body, a softer waistline, or slouched posture. This is a mistake. It makes you look defeated, not discreet, and definitely not hotter. You need to understand the architecture of style, which means how clothes are built to frame the body. The tailor is your best friend. A $50 shirt that fits perfectly through the shoulders, chest, and waist looks far more powerful and expensive than a $500 designer shirt that hangs off you like a curtain. Fit signals self-respect. Then comes the uniform. Strategy. Stop chasing trends. You're too old for hypebeast clothing, loud logos, and fast fashion that screams insecurity. Stick to timeless classics that signal maturity and confidence. Crisp white shirts, well-fitted neutral tees, dark denim, structured jackets, and quality leather boots or shoes. These pieces never go out of style and communicate quiet authority. Add the grooming edge. Gray hair is not the problem. Neglect is. A messy beard, overgrown eyebrows, or unkempt hair sends the message that you've given up. Keep the edges sharp. Trim your beard. Maintain clean lines. Pay attention to skincare and hygiene. When you look like you curate your life, people automatically assume your life is worth curating. Point number 2 is the quiet power. This is a psychological shift that separates boys from men. Young men are loud because they're desperate for validation. They interrupt, they over-explain, they perform. An attractive older man is attractive because he doesn't need validation. This is what we call quiet power. Listen more and speak less. When you do speak, make it count. Choose your words carefully. Speak from experience, not ego. There is nothing more magnetic than a man who listens intently and then responds with calm certainty. Next is the posture of command. Check yourself right now. Are your shoulders slumped forward? Is your head tilted down? As we age, gravity literally pulls us down and life pressures mentally push us inward. Fighting that gravity with an upright, open posture signals strength, confidence, and high testosterone. It tells the world you are still standing tall. Eliminate the neediness. Stop trying to prove how smart, successful, or accomplished you are. Let people discover it over time. Mystery is the ultimate aphrodisiac of the mature man. The less you try to impress, the more impressive you become. Point number 3 is the physical standard. This is the big one. If you want to be hotter as an older man, you cannot ignore the temple. Your body is the foundation of everything else. Most men let their health go as a so-called rite of passage of aging. They tell themselves it's normal to be tired, stiff, overweight, and low energy. That is a choice, not a destiny. The most attractive thing an older man can have is vitality. Energy changes how you walk, how you speak, and how people feel around you. Resistance training is non-negotiable. Muscle is the armor of old age. It protects your joints, sharpens your face, improves posture, boosts hormones, and keeps your clothes fitting the way they should. You don't need to be a bodybuilder, but you do need to be strong. Strength equals independence and confidence. Focus on the biological reset. Prioritize quality sleep, real food, hydration, and sufficient protein intake. These basics alone can dramatically improve mood, recovery, and mental clarity. When you have high energy at 50-30, you immediately stand out against 90% of the population who are exhausted, inflamed, and sluggish. Finally, the spark in the eye. This comes from having a mission. A man with no purpose looks old no matter his age. A man chasing a goal, whether it's training for a marathon, building a business, learning a skill, or mastering a craft, has a light in his eyes that is incredibly attractive and impossible to fake. Aging is a natural process, but becoming old is a mindset. You already have the wisdom, you already have the stories, you already have the scars that shaped you. Now give yourself the exterior and the energy that those stories deserve. Pick one of these 3 things and start today. Don't do it for compliments. Don't do it for approval. Do it because you deserve to see the best version of yourself in the mirror every single day. If you found this valuable, subscribe and join a community of men who are leveling up at every age? And tell me in the comments which of these three is your biggest challenge right now. I'll be responding to as many as I can. Stay sharp. We'll talk soon. Now, let's go deeper, because transformation doesn't come from information alone. It comes from execution. Most men hear advice like this, nod their heads, feel motivated for a moment, and then return to the same habits that slowly drain their edge. The difference between an average older man and an exceptional one is not genetics or luck, it is standards. Exceptional men decide what they will no longer tolerate in their lives. They stop tolerating low energy. They stop tolerating sloppy presentation. They stop tolerating excuses that sound reasonable but lead nowhere. Every upgrade starts with a decision to raise the minimum standard of how you live day to day. Your environment matters more than motivation. Look around your home, your workspace, and your social circle. Do these spaces reflect a man who respects himself or a man who is coasting? Clean spaces create clear thinking. Organized environments reduce mental friction. Even something as simple as upgrading your bedding, your lighting, or your daily routine can dramatically improve how you feel and how you show up. When your environment supports you, discipline becomes easier and progress becomes inevitable. Socially, an older man must be intentional. Not everyone deserves access to your time or energy. Stop over-explaining your boundaries. Stop apologizing for prioritizing your health, your goals, and your peace. High-value men move with calm selectivity. They are friendly but not available to everyone. They are warm but not easily influenced. This balance creates respect without force and attraction, without effort. Finally, understand this. Confidence at this stage of life is not loud. It does not announce itself. It is felt. It's in how you walk into a room without scanning for approval. It's in how you sit comfortably in silence. It's in how you smile because you know who you are and where you're going. When an older man aligns his appearance, his energy, and his purpose, he becomes undeniable. Not because he demands attention, but because attention naturally finds him. This is not about chasing youth. It's about mastering maturity. This is the era where you stop shrinking and start expanding, where you stop blending in and start standing out, where you stop surviving and start leading. The best years are not behind you if you decide to build them intentionally. Stay disciplined, stay curious, stay dangerous in the best way. The next chapter is yours too, right?